Hi friends! I know you're seeing a lot of blue painter's tape, but I have a house that has central heating and air, and I had it replaced and the ductwork collapsed. Now the ductwork has to be removed from the house. So in the meanwhile, we had to put in window units so that we can have the comfort in the home and keep the house at temperature. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to install a window unit, and what you're seeing here is the after effects of painter's tape, because these windows are vinyl and you don't want to put screw holes in them. Now if you want to, that's up to you, but you're taking a chance on possibly cracking the glass over here, and you don't want to do that. So using painter's tape, I know it's not pretty, you can find some pretty stuff if you want, and this will help keep these little baffles here so it'll fill in that space. I'll show you how to attach this bar that the window sits onto, and I made a piece of cardboard covered in aluminum foil for the filler, because my window here is 38 inches wide. So come join me and I'm going to show you a lot of things, tricks, tips, support, so that nobody can bust into your house while your window unit's there, and the foam that's needed. It's a real quick and simple process. As long as the unit is not extremely big, I think you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So come join me and let's put in this air conditioning unit to make our lives a little bit temperature controlled together. Let's get started. Hello friends. This is the current temperature at my house at 5:30 in the morning. This is no lie. Our air conditioning unit got replaced and the new unit collapsed the ductwork. Why, you asked? Well, the ductwork was about 40 years old. I did not know this, and it's going to cost a lot of money to have the old ductwork removed and the new one put in under the house. So I'm going to show you how to put in a window unit, and if the extensions on the side aren't long enough, I'm going to show you my method of making it work. So let's go to the window. This is my current form of air circulation. My house, you know, it has all the ductwork, but if the unit ain't working, and the reason why you want to keep your house under certain temperature control is because it will cause the drywall to crack and floors to warp in the intense heat. So let's go ahead and move on, and I'm going to show you right here. I have a window unit that is a 5000 BTU. I'm going to be placing it in that window over there. And what I did was, I've had this out before, but when I put my machines away, I always put them away as if they were brand new again. So we have the bags of screws and stuff, and we have the little side pieces that goes on each side so that the window has like a baffle to keep air from coming in. This goes on top of the unit. You see the holes right there? And we have this that goes on top of the window, which will make it so that air won't come in when the window's closed. You know, it has a nice firm, no air can come in. Well, this will help keep the air from coming in as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out of the box, and I'm going to set it up on my bed and show you how to start putting it together. Alright, this unit weighs probably about 25 to 30 pounds. So it took a little struggling to get it out, and you can see that at one time we did have it out. Okay, so remember that bar I showed you that had the holes in it? Okay, so the front of the unit is here. This is the back of the unit. This will go outside. So this bar, when the window's closed, will set up against this. So the first thing you want to do is place this bar, line it up over the holes, okay, and there's screws that you use to put in there. Let me get out the screws, and what I'm going to be using is my drill here. Now it is set for the highest torque. I'm going to set it all the way down here to 6. Now because the windows that I have in this particular house is vinyl sided, vinyl windows, you do not want to put these in. These are the safety so that somebody can't break into your house. I'm going to be using a 2x4 so nobody can pry the window up, and that will keep it safe. These little screws are the ones that we're going to be using to place right here to hold this down in place. Alright, so when placing these screws in, I'm on my phone, so you want to just get it in. Whoops, I'm on reverse. You just want to get it in just enough to get the threads started. Put the second and third one in. You want them to make sure they fit in the hole without stripping the sheet metal underneath. And then after all of them are in, we're going to go ahead and tighten them all up. Okay, so I got all my screws in, and now I'm going to go ahead and make sure that they're all in there firmly. Okay, you heard the torque thing go off, saying that it won't go any tighter. Okay, so now that all 3 of those are in, we're going to put the side pieces on. Okay, so I have not installed them yet, but you'll notice this one says L, which means I have the unit flipped around so that the front is looking at me. So the L goes on the left side and the right goes on the right side. Okay, then right here on the side there's these grooves. Okay, mine has 3 sets, and what you're going to do is right here you'll see there's a hard piece that's going to slide down into those grooves and make it work. So let me see if I can do this. Anyway, what you'll do is you'll take this and stretch it. You got to put that in first before you can put these in the groove. So oh, I wish I had a tripod. So take and stretch that to the end here and then slide it down into the groove. Alright, so I'm going to come over here. This is the right side. Okay, we're going to take the panel and slide it all the way to the end. And then take that hard piece that's at the end and slide it into and down in that track. Okay? So you have these two flopping around. But what we're going to do is raise it on its side, and you'll see an opening here, and then this piece that we put in on the top, these two will go into. So stretch it up, and one goes on the bottom. There we go. See how it fit right in there? And then it'll slide, and this will go under the unit. Okay? This will go inside the window track as well. So here's one side on, and we're going to go ahead and do the other side. You can see how simple it is. It's really not that hard to put on. Okay, so I got the track on. Okay. Make sure your track is in line and it'll go into that bottom piece easier. And there we go. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is stick it into the window. And that's what it looks like right now. Now, if you're admiring my curtains, they're actually shower curtains. I loved the embroidery. You notice how they don't go to the floor. And I know this is not for men, but see the shower curtains up top? Okay? So that way if somebody says, and their wife sees it, oh, that's so pretty. Now you know. Okay, and then we got these mini blinds. Let's go ahead and slide them up. And here's my rose garden I worked so hard on. And I have a tree outside my window. I will be trimming my tree once I get the air conditioner out. I don't want any greenery resting on the machine. Okay, so we're gonna unlock our window up here. Okay, and let's raise it up. Okay, now my window has a screen, and the screen, if it was halfway, we would raise the screen up. But unfortunately, I can't do that, so I am going to remove my screen. It's going to take a little finagling. You see how it has a grip here? I can slide it over. See how it's slowly coming out? I got to do that, and here it comes. Okay. I'm going to set mine down outside because I will be going outside to trim, and then I can put my screen in my garage. So how far down we got? There we go. We got about 6 feet down there. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is put the unit into the window. So lifting this up, you see here's our plug. We want to make sure that the plug stays inside the house. We don't want it falling out. We also want to make it so that this track here, it can go on the outside, but I'm probably going to want to leave it on the inside. Let's see what else is under here. Yeah, we'll see what happens, but we'll go ahead and put that outside and make sure that the plug stays inside. Then after we get it in there, we want to bring the window down, and it'll lock up against this, and it'll keep it from falling outside. I do recommend 2 people if you can't handle the weight of this machine. They do make smaller ones, which are perfect for bedrooms that are like 10 by 12 or whatever. And I know when I turn mine on, I only turn it on when I need it. I don't really leave it on 24/7, but sometimes depending on how hot and humid it is outside, you might want to just go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and place it in the window. Let me see if I can set it up. We're going to have to move my curtains over, and we're almost done. This is a very simple and quick process. So you're probably going to get a lot of the back side of me. Here I am. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to stick it into the unit or into the window. Okay. Also, making sure that my plug is inside the house. Okay, so I'm going to grab it by the sides. As you can see here, I grabbed it by the sides. baffle parts go inside the house. So I'm going to make it so it comes up. Be careful if you don't want to scratch your wood here. You want to pick it up and slide it over. There we go. Okay, so I was wrong. These things go on the other side of the window panel. So I'm going to close the window here. Okay, the window is holding our air conditioner in place. So now one of the things that I wanted to point out was my baffles, as you can see here, are not big enough. So I'm going to be putting a piece of cardboard, but I'm going to cover mine with aluminum foil and then tape it so that wind and rain won't come in. I'll also be taping it on the outside. So for this one right here, I'm going to see how far over I can go. And that'll help me to determine how far over the air conditioning unit needs to go. And even though it's 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm in Virginia, it's the end of June 2020, it is still very hot and humid outside. Virginia is known for its humidity. I'm from California, we have dry weather. Okay, so I have this side where I want it. Now I'm going to take this side and stretch it to see how far I can pull it. And it will not go. So I'm going to have an opening right here. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and take a measurement, and the cardboard will help this here, and I'll tape it so it doesn't have an open gap. The next thing we're going to do, I have a 3-prong 110 plug. Now, one of the things I wanted to point out with this particular size unit is you see our plug system. This is for 110, and what I mean by 110, you'll see that your outlet looks like that. That is usually household size amps that you need, okay? Now, if you have something that looks different, then you're going to have to contact an electrician and have them upgrade. So for this particular one, this outlet, and it has all these reset features, I'm going to place it into the bottom so that if I need to use the top, I can. Here, let's get it in there. There we go. All right, and the green light says it's ready to go. If it trips, it does have a reset button right here. I didn't realize it was already on. But see, I'm ready to use my unit. And I'm going to have cool air here pretty soon. Let me turn it off. Here's the on and off switch for this. And I will be good to go. And if you notice, since I am filming this on my phone, it took me 4 minutes to put this in, but I was also explaining a lot of things. So here's what it looks like over here. I'm going to be putting some painter's tape. I don't want to put too heavy a tape because I don't want the paint and whatever else to mess up. There is some openings here, so I'll put some tape through here, mostly on the outside. And then over here, you see how this does not stretch over far enough, so I'm just going to put in, like I said a few minutes ago, the cardboard with the aluminum foil, and I'm good to go. And let me show you what I'm going to be doing for the last thing. So this comes with the unit. Okay, and so right up here is the top of the window. So this is going to come up here and you're going to stuff it down into that opening. You'll go all the way across, and whatever's left over, just leave it up there. Do not cut it, save it for another time. I also have my tape measurer, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from the top of the window all the way up to the casing at the top, so that way I don't have to worry about somebody trying to open my window to take my air conditioning unit or come in my house. Okay, and another thing too is, since I did use this in the past, one of the things that you want to double check is to make sure that your screen is clean. Let's see, how do we pull this guy out? There we go. Well, he wants to be a little difficult. Let me see if I can. There we go. Oh my goodness. I didn't clean this last time. So, I'm going to clean that. Just take like a dry towel, not a paper towel, but a dry towel, and all of this will come off. You don't want that left over from last year or last time. And here I usually clean it and put everything away. So let's clean this, and then we can put our screen back in. Also, throughout the season, as you're using your filter, make sure that you clean it at least 2 times, maybe once a month, or depending on what kind of dust you have in your house, quite regularly, especially if you have animals, because this is the air intake. This is the air intake. This is the export, which is blowing the cold air into your house. Alright, so you can see what I have out here. You see the aluminum foil. I'm going to cover that up with the blue tape, and you can see my collection of greenery that is close. So I'm going to cut some of this back. We don't want any of that to interfere with it. Okay? And this is what it looks like on the outside. Okay, so the screen is going to come with me. I'm going to put that in the garage. So, I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you try it. And thank you so much for watching. Have a safe and cool summer. Till next time, bye-bye.